I'd like to call to order the Wednesday, May 10th, 2023 Townsend Conservation Commission meeting at 7:06 p.m. Can I have a roll call, please?
Pat Jamal here.
James Gates.
Ann Leclerc.
This meeting is being recorded. Is anyone else recording? Chairman's additions and deletions. I do not have any. Chair reports. Let's see. On April 29th, I received a complaint about kids running up and down the Sandy Hills at Squanicook Meadows. Went take a look, see if they were still there. I guess they were sliding up and down it on a old picnic table. Not supposed to, because of the endangered species. So we disposed of the picnic table, and then on the 6th of May, I received a phone call about dirt bikes in the same area. That all tracks back, and the police were notified and handled it with a warning. Also on the 6th of May, I was driving down Mason Road and saw someone getting ready to cut back some brush along the river with an excavator. Stopped, talked to them, asked them to leave a buffer and to call the office, and Jessica and Matt are handling that. Well, they take a lot, so it's not, didn't disturb anything. And then periodic visits to 158 Main Street. The last time I went was the 25th, and Jessica went the 5th, but that's on her report.
Okay.
Review and approve the meeting minutes from 3/22/23.
I read them. They seem to be fine to me. I didn't have any issues.
I did too. Pat, did you have any questions, concerns?
No. Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from 3/22/2023.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote, please.
Pat Jamal, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Ann Leclerc, yes.
Agents report. Hi, Jessica.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi everyone. Just made it. All right. Covered from April 24th to May 5th. We did not have any building permit sign-offs. We did not have any referrals. We had one BOH sign-off, Board of Health sign-off for Bayberry Hill Road. It doesn't have an address, but it's parcel 17-2. We completed the approval for 75 Pierce Road. We issued a standard order of conditions on April 28th. And we issued.
Stop you for a second.
Yes.
Can you just announce it's 7:09?
Kevin Smith, present, 7:09.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Other completed approval was a partial COC for 15 South Street that we mailed out April 24th. Few applications in right now. We have an RDA for 114 Highland Street. During the last couple of weeks, we did the intake and completeness review and a site visit on May 3rd. An RDA for 12 South Street, intake and completeness review, site visit on the 3rd also, and then an NOI for 158 Fitchburg Road, intake and completeness review, and also a site visit on May 3rd. Other miscellaneous items, ongoing enforcement order for 158 Main Street. Compliance is ongoing. As James said, we visited a few times. They just have ongoing sediment cleanup and hay bale replacement as needed. We had a site visit with DCR, a DCR ecologist to 158 Main Street and the budding land for their input. We have just had ongoing review and updates to Chapter 150 wetland regulations. We've been doing some grant coordination and scheduling coordination for the invasive species training for the Wild and Scenic grant that we have.
That was rescheduled though.
Yes, it was rescheduled, thank you, to TBD, but it is no longer on the 17th. We're trying to nail down a new date with our 2 trainers. And we'll let you know as soon as we do. We have started a new e-permitting system for building permits. So those of us in land use have sort of started a training and account coordination for that. I visited a recently acquired cemetery and parks property for a review of their wetland delineation. They're going to do they're planning sort of a trail project there and a place for certain burials. Mailed out a possible violation letter to the owner of 100 Fitchburg Road. That was for the possible filling of the pond there. So I have a visit scheduled with him early June, I believe. I visited 172 Main Street for some drainage concerns. It's another agricultural property that has some sort of culvert failure on it. So we'll try to help him navigate probably toward an NOI for that. And then in the last week, we just reviewed possible additional violations of exterior improvements within the wetland buffers at 158 Fitchburg Road. And that's it.
Why an NOI for 172 Main Street if it's in that active agricultural use?
Let me see what I sent the guy. I found all the regulations for it. Blah, blah, blah. So I think based on my understanding of the Wetlands Protection Act, agricultural, and then the wetlands regs, maintenance on drainage features to better the agricultural use of your property is allowable with a permit, with approval from CONSCOM. So I think because that second culvert, it's such a mystery as to where it goes and what has happened to it, that he's probably going to need a little bit more of an extensive evaluation of it. So probably to do some sort of actual ground improvement, like making a swale or something. That's a little bit more of an undertaking of a drainage improvement. So
I think he just wants to replace the pipe, but we can trust that.
cross that culvert when we come to it. Yeah. Oh, that was so bad. Oh my gosh. Don't laugh, Matt. That was terrible.
All right. Matt, do you have anything to add?
Nope, I think Jessica covered everything.
All right, hearings and appointments. We have 1 minute. Can I start reading it?
Yeah. I think you can start the legal ad. I think you do all that good stuff before you open the hearing.
Um, $7:15, we have notice of intent. We do not have a DEP number, Towns and Wetlands by law 2023-149. Applicant is Tyler Fleckner, location 158 Pittsburgh Road. Project status, status is the proposed project is for the construction of a septic system, including a septic tank and associated grading. Part of the construction will take place within 100 feet of the bordering vegetated wetland. The CC will also address possible wetland violations. Pursuant to the Mass or Wetlands Protection Act and the Townsend Wetlands Bylaw, Townsend Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, May 10th, 2023 at approximately 7:15 p.m. The hearing will be held virtually via Zoom meeting and in person at Town Hall on a notice of intent filed with the Conservation Commission by Tyler Fleckner. The property is located at 158 Fitchburg Road, Assessor's Map 15, Parcel 26. The proposed project is for the construction of septic system, including septic tank and associated grading. Part of the construction will take place within 100 feet of the bordering vegetated wetland. Parties wishing to speak in support of or in opposition to this application may do so at the meeting or in writing prior to the meeting. Copies of this application are available to review at Town Hall during business hours. Jessica Salvo, agent, Townsend Concom. Matt, did you look to see if the butters matched? Yeah.
Yep, and they did. Although, do they have the signed green notices, perchance? We don't
Right
need
here.
those. They are here. Okay, perfect.
Oh, where's the camera?
I did check the small white ones already, and they do match.
Yes, so we need to open the hearing.
Make a motion to open the hearing for an NOI. No DEP number. Townsend Wetland Bylaw number 023-17.
Second.
Roll call. Vote please.
Pat Tremont, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Deanna Free, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Josh?
Yep. Yeah, my
is
name's
here and we're gonna discuss this.
Josh Johnson with Grant Engineering, representing Tyler Fleckner and Zachary Fleckner. As far as the DEP file number goes, I checked earlier today and it looks like we do have one. It's 308-0699.
Did you get that, Matt?
And their
Yep.
only technical comment was to provide wetland delineation methods, and I do have data sheets. I emailed them over to Jessica earlier today also. And the plan in front of you is an updated plan based on our site walk. You guys recommended that we take some auger samples and go back and look at the wetlands now that the snow's melted. So you can see that they definitely did get a lot closer to the house with the B series there. And then the 7 series down to the south corner of the property was added. Also, that was a little depression just south of the dry well. And the C series there was added. That basically between the A and the C series, that's the drainage area there of the lawn. And that whole lawn was determined to be wet with auger samples and sphagnum moss. So that puts our setback to the septic tank that we have, or the septic leach field that we have proposed a little closer. So we're gonna be within that 100-foot buffer, but we're still gonna be 78 feet away. And we propose to keep the system a little shallow in the ground, 2.34 feet to groundwater is what we're requesting. That's gonna be a Board of Health waiver. It should be 4 feet for Title V, but
Yeah.
raising that, we would have to push it closer and we'd have to pump the system.
The tank actually looks like it's within the 50-foot.
Yeah, there's no,
corner.
the Title V setback for that is 25 feet. And there's no local setback for septic tanks to wetlands. It's just the EDA itself. And that is, you can see that grayed out area there. It's like a cloud just to the south of that septic tank. That's where all of the existing components are now. And I did show that existing stone trench. I said it was installed winter of 2023. You guys wanted that shown on the plan. I think since then they've taken out the dry well and the piping.
Yep.
So they're working to remediate that as well.
Okay.
And you can see we tucked that system way down in the corner as far as we could,
Right.
way on the property.
So I see the line of vegetation, which was apparent there. You're going to be clearing just to the outside of the wall or a little bit past the wall?
That stone wall is the property line.
Right, well, no, not the.
Oh, you
the
mean-
retaining wall, sorry. You're obviously gonna clear
Yeah.
outside of that.
Yeah, probably right to the property line there. So you can work around the wall and backfill it properly.
One thing I like to see is just more full fence going. To the northeast one, but just a small detail thing. Do you think you come up with a solution for his sump pump problem?
I was actually gonna let him speak on that. I don't know if he has anything in mind. I didn't.
Jessica, is it kosher if we talk about that in conjunction?
I was hoping the applicant would be there. What?
He's here. Camera's not turning, I'm sorry.
I just can't hear him.
Yeah, I'm here.
You mind coming actually? Hear you, it's
Sure.
technology.
Yeah, no worries.
There, oh, that's,
We'll move over.
I don't know what this camera's doing tonight, guys. Sorry.
here, can you hear him now?
Say something, please.
Hey, how you doing?
Yes, good. It's still on Josh. Sorry, Josh. So there we go. There we go. Okay.
What do you want him to, talk about?
I mean, this newest delineation changes things a bit. So there's two things that I'm seeing. It's the sump pump stuff and then the deck, which I know the deck is new. I know in the fall I signed off on the deck, but that was before knowing that it was all within the 35 foot. I mean, what's the timeline goal for the septic replacement? Because that sort of depends on if we're going to separate this into two NOIs or just keep continuing this to combine everything.
I mean, honestly, we've been hoping to do it for the last like 3 months, so
Okay.
we're looking to get the house is all done. I mean, everything inside the house is done. It's been done for a couple of months, and now it's really just waiting on the septic.
Okay.
Board of Health hearings on the 24th, so we should have approval by then.
Is this in National Heritage at all?
No.
Yes.
And I just have one question slash statement. I mean, the deck that we replaced, there was a deck there. We
Okay.
didn't, I don't think we didn't change like anything other than actually just fixing the falling down deck.
Sure. No, that's fine. I think that's probably why I signed off on it, because I just thought it was a replacement. But that being said, I was not aware that there were wetlands this close. Josh, did you do the new B series, or you said your boss went out? Do you know what the soils were like through there?
That would be listed in that data sheet I just gave you.
I thought that was over in the 7.
Oh, yeah, no, you're correct. I did flip through that, and he did auger samples in the 7 series, and then just based on all of the sphagnum moss that was in the B series.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't love to like tell someone to take down a deck, but I mean, if we're gonna be in the,
But Jessica, that was existing.
The deck was existing, Jessica.
no, I know, but,
We did the deck and
Yeah.
We're talking about the sump pump though, not the.
well, I know.
I'm not picking on you either.
I know, well, I hear a baby crying, so I'm distracted too. So, okay, yeah, no, I mean, the sump pump alone, that's, I mean, you dug a trench, filled it with gravel, discharging into a wetland or very close to a wetland. So that just needs a permit to do that as long as that is approved by the Conservation Commission. I mean, with your topo on the site, I don't really know where else you're gonna discharge it.
We're gonna put that water under where it's going. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, the whole backyard is
Yeah.
wet. And and honestly, that's the only reason why we went out to the edge, because the whole backyard is just, it's water. For a long time, it was
They
real water.
almost run it.
You know what I mean? Like, we set up the whole inside to have a whole backup generator system, because if that power goes out, then there's gonna be problems that day, so we knew it.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, right from the beginning, we had like 4 inches of water in the
Yeah, that
basement.
house is 67 years old probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And, you know, when it was built.
and the sump pump was there, it was just like, just standing out there, you know what I mean? It wasn't, so, sorry. Definitely problem.
Yeah. You gotta let the guy drive.
No, I know. I'm just wondering if he discharges it,
Well,
No, I was looking at,
Right.
I was looking at like that curve thing, like what if we went, like, so I came out past the deck, but I made sure I stayed way away from that, the boundary curve, right? But what if we went to like, if I can get to the left more, but I don't know exactly where the septic's gonna land. But that's why I was gonna try to work with the excavator guy who's doing the septic to
Exactly.
to dig around it.
Just, you run it straight or kick it or touch the other way.
Well, I can't run it straight, because that's where we were. I was gonna run it to maybe the left.
Yeah, to the southeast of,
Yeah, okay.
you know, almost directly straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because of this
Just give it,
elevation
just give
there.
it a kick down. and-
Yeah,
because
you
right
can raise
now
it up
it's
a
like
little,
it's
actually have
really
the drainage.
I mean, I guess it goes that way.
What are you showing it here?
I believe
That's
there
the- yeah,
is
that
a
was the
50-foot
trench that we
setback
done.
from an
And I
EDA
cut
to
it
a
back
dry
here
well.
now.
The framing over like this.
So.
Can I
There we
cut
go.
in? Can we make sure we only have one conversation for meeting minutes purposes, please? One at a time, thanks.
Makes Matt Strum harder when he has to.
We cannot understand both conversations, so. Sorry, thanks.
Jessica, in your perspective, where would you, if, where would you prefer to see it? There's a 50-foot setback.
I believe it's either 25 or 50, but I'm pretty sure it's 50 to the leach field from the dry well. Per both local bylaws.
I can't go that far that way.
Yeah, so you can't go too much
Yeah, but
further that way.
You could,
I mean, I can go some to the left, but there's not, I mean, unless I get like up that little bit of a hill we have, it's just all water.
We can definitely push it that way as far as possible.
yeah.
I
And
think it's the only
gets it-
direction we can go.
But it also gets it further away from your backyard.
Right, exactly.
You know, dump it into a dry well, that's whatever, yeah, it is what it is. Jessica, any input? Dry well, no dry well?
I mean, from the fellow sump pumper house here, we are getting our discharge piped out this week. And we're gonna do like a graded trench with a perforated pipe. But we're not in a buffer.
This is zero groundwater, Jessica. The drywall's not gonna work.
No.
Right, yeah, we're not gonna ground.
It's gonna be full right out of the gate.
What if you get,
Surface runoff is in my opinion, is the way to
what about the
go.
last 10 feet or 20 feet of imperforated? The rest solid?
They could, you run 30 feet out from the house solid and run 25, 30 feet of perforated, just leave the end open.
Yeah.
You know, that would be a pretty good way, maybe kick it a little the other way from where it's at now. You're not gonna be out of the 35 foot. If you've got that 92 contour running right down through there, you're gonna be
Right.
cutting. You gotta put it where it's at, or it's gonna reverse back towards the house. So it's really the way it's kinda needs to go, in my opinion.
Yeah, you still have a little. You'll have pitch, so.
The elevation is minimal. It's kind of limited where they can go with it, and it's an old house, it's 60, 70, 80 years old, it's, we gotta try to make something fly,
Mhm.
you know, we gotta try to help them.
Right, yeah, it gets it away from it,
Yeah.
recharges the
In
groundwater.
my opinion, that's where I'd go.
So what are we thinking, like, come out the hard pipe and then just go basically to the left?
Hard pipe it out away from the house, say 25, I don't have my scale with me. I
Well,
don't
it's
like
about
to have
20
my
feet out
scale,
now,
but
cause it's,
However,
yeah, plus about 10.
bring it out 20, 25 feet with solid and go the rest of the way with perforated,
Or-
leave the end
Or
open.
just the last 20 feet perforated.
Perforated, last 20
That might
feet
be better.
perforated, leave the end open.
Like running straight the way we were going?
No, you gotta
Oh,
bring
yeah,
it down,
I think you ought to kick it, I think you should kick it the other way, in my opinion.
yeah, towards the leach field.
Yeah.
Right, to the left, to the leach field.
You gotta get off,
The
you
center of the
gotta get
house.
off by that
Right,
30,
into the back.
you gotta get off by that 35-foot no disturbance and end it right there.
Okay,
You're in it right now, might as well discharge the water out, get at least outside the, at the 35-foot line,
Yeah,
you know, the best you can, the best you can do.
Like right over
Yeah,
here
so
somewhere.
basically kick it, go this way.
Right over here, okay.
Keep
Go the
this
opposite way when
perforated
you-
here.
Yeah, so like kind of center of the house.
When it comes out, you're hooking it you're hooking it towards the wetlands. Just hook it away from the wetlands, just go at that 92 contour, you're still gonna get daylight. Good 20 plus feet of perforated in and leave it open.
Yeah,
You know, you got practically zero groundwater, putting a dry well in there is a moot point.
yeah, when we had those water.
So, right out of the gate.
There was some-
Right out of the gate. Right out of the gate, it's full of water, doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, 100%, okay,
do
It's
that.
been running out of there for 60 or 80 years now.
right.
You know, I think getting a direction change a little bit, getting it a little further away from wetlands. In my opinion, that's what I'd do.
Okay.
If I was doing it.
Hmm,
Yeah, right now it's not, it's just making that area wetter.
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, this charge the last 30 feet and perforated, surrounded with stone and then some
All
riprap at
day.
the end
All of the day.
until it grows over.
Yeah.
Does that sound reasonable? That,
are you asking me? Oh, yeah, no, I think if you can sort of shoot it, like maybe keep it where it's straight now. Hold on, where's
Yeah.
35? And then
Just-
once it starts to curve, yeah, shoot it north or whatever that is, toward the end
Discharge.
53 degrees, yeah.
and it will discharge outside the silt fence, so you might just need to adjust the silt fence accordingly, but you know, it's not gonna be huge disturbance.
Well, he's gonna,
Probably less.
right now, it's kind of over the property line, so you might as well silt fence the property line, hold it back where it belongs when it's on his property rather than shooting over it for the next piece. You know, and then restore that, get that cleaned up, get that remediated. You know, I don't,
Yeah, Jessica, how do you want that trench restored?
Probably just fill it back with soil, loam, seed, grass, whatever's out there now.
Remove the stone that's there and backfill it,
pull
or
a stone back and redirect it.
redirect, I can use the stone for the other way.
Well, if you can keep it clean.
Yeah,
Yeah, right,
It's all about keeping it clean.
right, right.
get bonus points for that. Yeah, how much a ton right now? All right, so you said that your Board of Health is,
Should be the 24th.
That's our next meeting too.
I know it's in the morning.
Board of Health meets in the morning.
Yeah, they're gonna have a 9 o'clock. meeting.
Okay. I just saw online that it was second and fourth Thursdays, I thought, so maybe not the 24th. It's the fourth Thursday of the month.
okay, so,
Call Carla at the Board of Health.
Okay,
some pump discharge where we discussed.
Yep.
Where it's feasible, move the silt fence to the property line. Restore the existing,
Just
some
restore
pump
that little
trenches.
damaged area that's over the property line.
They're gonna remove
Yeah.
the,
Remove the stone.
Remediate that.
Restore.
they're gonna remove the dry well.
I think you
That's
already
already
did.
out. Oh, yeah,
Oh, you
I
did.
pulled all that out. We didn't see the email, I apologize. Otherwise, we would have had it over the weekend, we would have taken care of it, but then we saw it on Monday, so we got right on it, yeah.
Good,
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
thank you. It's fine.
All Did I miss anything? Anyone, please?
No,
No,
Mm-mm.
that's fine to me.
Jessica, did I miss anything?
No, I think that was everything. I'm just wondering if we want to keep this all like in a hearing or have plans revised. Probably safer to have plans revised,
Yes.
before we close this,
hearing.
I think.
That's what we're leaning towards,
Yeah,
or not, I think that's what
Yeah.
we're figuring. I'd also make sure the silt fence goes, to the property line on the north side. Where the, the end of the wall, because I know it's floating down there. It's a big deal. So, get those revisions. As soon as you can, and give them to Jessica, and
You good to go.
we'll just continue it to the next meeting, which is,
24th.
Yeah.
When you.
So we'll have the Board of Health meeting first, that'll get approved, and then you guys will, once that's
Yeah.
signed off, you guys will just sign off on that.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then there's a 10-day grace period before you can do anything.
that's fine. Should be
After it's signed off internally, they're very quick, so
Okay.
maybe Matt will even have all the paperwork for us to sign that meeting.
That'd be good.
Ooh.
All right, so we need a motion and a second to continue.
Make a motion to continue the notice of intent hearing, DEP 308-0699, TWB 2023-149.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote, please.
Pat Tremolo, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Miller Cory, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Thank you for coming in and hopefully seeing us.
No, it's very good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Barry.
Yeah, have a good night.
You guys too, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get this many copies.
We have 3 updated copies,
Well,
just so you know. All right, moving on. 2.2. Proposed amendments to the Townland Wetland Regulations, Chapter 150, continued on 4/26. Jessica, Matt,
So I made the updates that we talked about for 26. I can pull it up. I have it on the website, the town website. And I also have physical copies for you in the folder.
Matt, do you need screen sharing?
Yes, please, Harley.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you.
I have a copy of you, Jim.
I do.
Okay, you can now screen share.
Okay, appreciate it. Let me pull it up.
This isn't the update. This is the file, so.
I'm good. Matt, do you need one?
Yes, please.
All right, I'm gonna read off the screen.
Okay. The highlighted is the new additions post the 426 meeting. And then there's one more public comment that I had in talking with Beth, but we can save that till the end. So we added at least 2 out of 3 to 150-2A to make it a little more clear. And then we also added instead of used within a wetland, we instead made it used within a resource area or its respective buffer. We added location of stockpiled materials, if any, to the plan requirements. We added note indicating the source of fill, if any, also to the plan requirements.
I don't like that. I really, okay, no, I don't like it. I know why I don't like it. Because we wanted to put a quantity to that. not just any fill, because
Yeah.
me as Joe contractor isn't gonna tell you where I got 3 yards of fill because it's way too, that's just pain.
Where you wanna put it?
Okay.
200?
Is there an amount that you have in mind then? Specific amount?
How much, Kevin?
How much you gonna generate on a house site? You know, but then you stockpile the loam and plan out the hole and move it around, and if you got any massive cuts of fill, 2,000 yards ain't that far wrong. You gotta put a number to that.
Right.
You can't just, then drive us all crazy.
Okay, what was that amount? Sorry, I only caught some of that.
2,000 yards.
2,000 yards. Okay, sure, I can add that.
2,000 cubic yards.
Cubic yards.
2,000 cubic yards. Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, perfect.
What is, how much, that's a dumb question. How much is that? Is it like a dump truck full? No, more than that?
No, Jessica, please, really?
I don't know. Have you ever seen me
I have no
operate a
idea.
dump truck before? I drive a Honda Pilot. Come on.
What is it? What is it, 200 dump trucks?
Oh, gosh, okay.
100 dump trucks?
That's why I'm
Jeez,
your
okay.
wetland agent, not your construction vehicle agent.
That's gonna be simple for house site construction, things like that, where that would take effect is on commercial construction.
Okay.
There's excavation involved, and obviously at that point,
Even,
I can see it.
and even then stating that, it does, you indicate the source of the fill.
I don't like,
I don't think it.
I don't like, I don't,
I-
you think it needs to be more?
No,
No, I think that,
what are you gonna do, soil test?
no, I think that's
Like-
pretty ample, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that covers a lot of what you're doing.
Okay. 2,000. Yep, I can add that. 2,000 cubic yards. Okay. Then moving on. So this is something that Beth wanted to add, just to make reference to the stormwater regulations. So we want to add M, for applicable land disturbance as specified in Chapter 85 of the Townsend General Bylaw, a stormwater management application shall be filed in conjunction with this application to determine subjectivity to either a minor or major stormwater management permit. Refer to Section 175-44, Stormwater Management, Erosion, and Sedimentation Control Plan, the Stormwater Plan, to determine requirements with strict adherence to Chapter 85 of the Townsend General Bylaws, NPDES Phase 2 Stormwater Management. So that's just making people aware that if you're within the parameters of needing to file a stormwater permit, that you're aware of that.
This is the exact language that was just proposed in the zoning bylaw amendment or the planning board regulations amendment. One of either of the
Zoning,
two.
I believe.
Zoning. So we just kind of wanted to be consistent with the wording as
Mhm.
well there.
Yep.
Hold on, go back.
Oh, sorry. Just let me know.
Jessica, home water management, 20, fix it at 1 acre.
Can you talk to the camera, please? I couldn't hear that.
Hold
Whoa.
And I should know this, I think I'm just flat out exhausted tonight.
on. And
I
that's where
gotta re-familiarize myself with that. Doesn't stormwater management kick in under 1 acre with over 1 acre disturbance?
Oh, it depends. Okay, can of worms. So yeah, no, totally depends. So if just in general, this isn't applicable to every single scenario, but in general, it's greater than 40,000 square feet will require a stormwater permit. Greater than 40,000 square feet of disturbance, so a little less than an acre.
yeah, so that's.
Or, hot seat. Greater than 1,000 square feet on a 15% or greater slope,
I think that's right.
or greater than 4 feet vertical change of excavation or fill.
understand why we're adding this.
Yeah, I was
The
gonna
rest
say.
the rest of it is like the plan.
The planning board kicks in.
Well, hold on.
The
You asked me a
planning board
question.
has
Do you want me to
jurisdiction
answer it?
Over stormwater management. Am I correct? They always did.
Yes. Yes.
This
so-
stormwater bylaw has been around forever, like all the others, yes.
Why are we bringing this into conservation?
Conservation.
I guess I'm
Land
confused.
disturbance, water quality, all the sorts, and because we need to do a better job in town of checking in on projects that meet those thresholds. Because it hasn't been great ever.
I don't disagree with that, but at the same time,
We're just adding more.
I want to, hold on, I want to answer your question. The reason we're doing this, and Jessica and Matt, please step in at any time. Can I borrow this for a sec, please?
Yes, you can.
There's a bunch of grammatical errors, little things that just, so that, we're just trying to, clarify so that a regular person can fill out the form. I
Okay.
can't even fill out the form. You
Yeah,
know,
we
you
have to-
hire someone like I do. But like the plans that are submitted, we literally copy and pasted Groton's because it was comprehensive.
So you're trying to simplify it by adding that? Is
Well,
simplifying it?
not that, not that,
Oh,
not that,
I say, how can that be simplifying it?
no, I'm just going through it, like the outline of what's expected on the plans.
Okay.
Like the location of the spoils pile. We usually ask for it, but it's not outlined.
Okay.
I don't agree with adding that though, I feel like it's then overlapping into something where it's not even our jurisdiction, even
Right.
though I know I'm vocal about it, but
I think, I should have checked before I opened my mouth on this one. Matt, can you scroll up to the top? Does this already have a cross-reference for the zoning bylaw in it?
All the way to the top.
Beginning?
It does.
Yeah. There's already references, so.
hold on, there's too many conversations. I'm gonna say it now.
When I sit on this side of the table.
Yeah.
Before the planning board. They've always dealt with, been responsible for stormwater management. Now, when I come over here and a few times that I have to stand out there. It seems like there's some overlap. I may be wrong, but. And, you know, I've been out for a few meetings and, you folks have discussed it. You feel comfortable with it, Jimmy? I'm all right with it.
This was just added.
This was just
Oh.
added,
This
yeah.
was
I myself don't feel comfortable.
No, I don't either.
Even if we don't put this on the chapter 150, this would still apply. It's just you're not comfortable with the conservation have anything to do with stormwater, basically. This is just like letting people know if they're filing. Let's say they're not sure if they have to file with zoning or planning, sorry, and they're just trying to file a conservation permit. This would just let them know, like, hey, if you're doing a project that has, you know, this amount of land disturbance, you also need to file with the planning board a stormwater permit, basically.
So say that instead of, I think this is to me, this is confusing. Just say
Okay.
Say exactly what you were gonna say.
I would rather have
You
you
know?
word it like you just said, Matt.
Okay, so something like if over the 40,000 or if over, you know, the listed requirements for stormwater permits, then you would also need to file with the planning board, something like that.
Yes, correct. It's simple.
Much
It's
easier.
simplifying it.
Planning board
To the
or
person that-
stormwater management, in both or
To
whatever.
the person that does, the homeowner that, you know, doesn't have an engineer to hire or can't afford to hire an engineer, you look at it and clearly, you know, understand it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a.
So I decided to just do copy paste from what the planning board regs were. So I'm gonna undo that and should have stuck with my gut. My first instinct was I emailed Matt, just sort of a general project. So keep this section M but projects exceeding certain disturbance thresholds as defined in the Chapter 85 bylaw and the Chapter 175 regulations are separately required to file for a stormwater management permit.
Yes, keeping it
And that's it.
simple. Better. Yeah.
I should have stuck with my instincts. All right. So Matt, just for your reference, I emailed that to you on May 5th. If you
Okay.
want to sort of just pull that text.
Okay. Sounds perfect.
Yeah.
I can do that.
I'm not doing that.
Or I can do that. I can do that later. But okay, perfect. Okay, moving on then. I can put what you just said there. The other thing was changing Soil Conservation Service to National Resources Conservation Service because it's just been renamed for years now. Yeah, so just updating the name there. It's the same authority. So we added the approved conservation staff based on the public comments we got. That way the Conservation Commission has to approve the staff that can issue an administrative approval. That being said, Beth had a comment in talking to me where she wants to make it more clear, like who does the approving, because it doesn't really make it clear here that it's the Conservation Commission who does the approving. So I think it would make sense to add language saying following requests, I don't know, something like following review of the request, the Conservation Commission will vote on who they give approval to, or based on the vote of the Conservation Commission, conservation staff may issue, something like that.
Talked about that the wording of that at the last meeting.
Yeah, we did.
Right. I thought we had just settled on approved, but
No, well, as approved by the Conservation Commission,
as approved. Okay.
right, Jessica? Do we need to watch the video? Get a replay? You don't
I
know,
mean, I
it's fine.
think you guys did say approved, but I get that it's unclear now.
I think as approved by the Conservation Commission would,
I mean, that's
would be
like, I
perfect.
don't think it should be what's that word? Oh my gosh.
Well-
Sorry.
The way that's written, it like administrative approval period. Just, that needs to be the formatting, or needs to be a separate thing. And then maybe have a bullet or subsections for each line or for each item that needs to get discussed.
Okay. So
Or-
administrative
That's how the
approval
rest of
and
that section is formatted, though.
What?
I think that's how the rest of that section is formatted. I know it looks weird, but I think it is sort of like the subject of the sentence, period. And then it just goes off into a longer paragraph.
Yeah, but like emergency, colon says, I don't know,
But like, see, like right there, like two, like, yeah, keep scrolling a little bit more. 2, change in submitted plans, period. Certificate of compliance, period. That's just the formatting I was following, but we can make it easier to follow.
never noticed that. Okay, I'm just, okay, sorry, I'll be quiet.
No, it's fine. Okay.
okay. That is everything. I think that's kind of substantial enough changes to maybe continue this again. If you ask me, but that's up to you guys. I have to add in the 2,000 cubic yards to the plan requirements. I have to simplify M and add approved by Conservation Commission to K, as well as make potential
I would-
formatting changes.
Yeah, I would try to break that up so it's a little easier to read, and I would start with the subsection 1, only approved administrative staff, or only Conservation Commission approved administrative staff may approve or grant approval, however you want to word it.
Okay.
But I would break that up just a little in the subsection so that
We're gonna get up into like a 1-2, like K1-2, you're saying, kind of?
Kevin, Pat,
I agree, I agree.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
It's simple to understand
Okay.
or more simplified.
yeah.
since it doesn't have pictures, I'm just not gonna look at it.
That makes sense.
But yeah, other than that, Kevin, some of the quick changes that, Jessica, can you just go over like the first one with the soils and hydrology or combination?
Yes,
So Kevin will like that one. We can
great.
keep tying there.
So, yes, original has been text is all in black. So it used to just say wetlands shall be defined by vegetation and shall include intermittent wet areas, ponds, and streams. Anyone who does wetlands knows that their 3 parameters are having hydrosoils, the source of hydrology, and then hydrophytic vegetation. So I don't know how that's been just saying vegetation for so long. So we just added in the 3 indicators, veg, soils, and hydro, or a combination of at least 2 of the 3, because sometimes you might have a problematic site where you have lead 2 inches down, and just organic material on top of that, but you'll have this total groundwater seep with wetland veg growing. Or usually the problematic area is in the soils, or vegetation, something that's mowed so frequently that it might not be a hydrophytic plant.
What?
But
But I wanted you to,
I'm all right with that.
even Stan, because Stan was here last time and he said he's been stuck before with one high bush blueberry
Yeah,
that, you
correct,
know,
yeah. No, I think that's a good way to define it.
Yeah.
Hydric soils can be pretty touchy. And, if you look at it from a couple different ways, then it helps to find a little better.
yeah.
I know I've been, all the years that I've worked around with the wetlands guys and done core samples and, what I would certainly think was hydric soil. The scientist is no, it's not. So I'm all right with that, Justin.
So I just wanted that as an example because that's a big thing because it helps
I think so.
a lot.
I think it helps clarify it.
And same with the administrative review, it will save us time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm fine with that.
Pat, do you have anything you want to add or?
No. I think the more simple it is though, because that was really hard to try to,
Even that case.
yeah, it's
You want to take this part?
Yeah.
What?
That was a little too complicated.
I agree.
But we don't want, do you want to keep it?
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
Thank you for all your work.
So we need a motion to continue in a second.
I'm not sure too, before you vote, if this is something that Kevin should abstain from voting because he wasn't at the previous public hearing.
You're gonna continue it, you're not gonna vote on it tonight.
Right.
Is that?
True.
Right.
True. Okay.
That's okay, as long as he just watches all the hearings or reads the minutes. I believe he is then, considered caught up enough to vote.
Okay.
Motion to continue in a second.
Need a motion to continue in a second, meaning in a second.
Oh, no, I need it now, please. It's 8:00. So,
Take a motion to continue the proposed amendments to Townsend Wetland Regulations, chapter 150, continued from 426. I'll second
continue to 5:24, roll call vote. James Gates, yes.
that. Yes.
I do want to just say that thank you, Matt and Jessica, for
Yeah, for all the
Work
work.
on
that you have.
two, three. Boston Porter, 158 Main Street, updates from 4/26 to 5/10. I don't know if one of you want to pick up or show the pictures that I sent. And pictures that Jessica took. I visited the site too. So,
You said you recently sent pics, James? I don't know if I got your recent set of pictures. Oh, man, I think we lost audio.
oh, can you hear me?
Yep, now I can.
2nd of May, I sent them about 9:00 at night.
Oh, 2nd of May? Okay. Yep, those pictures I believe I have. Give me 1 second.
And I can't speak for Jessica. I'm sure they're up there.
No, I took some too, but I'm realizing I didn't put them in OneDrive recently.
I am actually not seeing them. Do you have them, Jessica?
Are you, just for faster, are you already on VPN, Matt?
I am not, no, unfortunately. It hasn't been working for me recently.
Well, anyway, I'll read the latest email from Courtney. This is on yesterday, the 9th. She said she talked to Stan yesterday, so Monday the 8th, and he said he's working on the site plan and should have something finalized in a few weeks. They have continued to monitor the culvert area and have removed excess sediment when needed. More hay has been put out for your request. So I just told her that I would relay that on to the commission on their behalf. But yeah, I think we go out probably at least weekly at this point, and have witnessed Mr. McGee shoveling by hand, the wetland out by hand. So that's really good. So things are starting to revegetate a little bit as well. But it seems that the check dams and the hay bales are doing, as you know, the best that we can expect at this point.
Matt, I'm trying to send them to you.
So I'm seeing them now, but you didn't list them as attachments. So if I scroll down them, it's going to show your email, James. I don't know if you're okay with that.
I'm trying to connect to VPN right now too,
Okay.
so I can get onto the server.
I don't know how, well, I just sent them to you again. I don't know if they'll be individual or how. So I don't know. Can you right click and say open?
Yeah, let me see here. I can quickly try to copy them and put them in a Word document, but I don't know, Jessica will probably be faster with the VPN sign in.
Yeah, I have
It doesn't let me
mine.
right
I don't
click.
have yours, James, but I have mine. Hartley, can I have screen sharing, please?
Yes,
Oh,
and
also on VPN, pictures are
give me one.
painfully slow to load. All right.
I sent it to both of you. It doesn't really matter. So, all right, it is what it is. There were hay bales that were supposed to be put out before the heavy rain. They didn't get put out, and sedimentation went around the hay bales that were there and back down into the wetlands. But Jessica observed Mr. McGee removing silt last Friday from that. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, Jessica, you've got it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, oh boy. What?
Well, you figured that out, Joan. Do you have
Sorry,
anything?
I'm sorry. Yeah, this is, on VPN, pictures are really, really slow.
No, I came to listen.
Okay.
But actually, that's news to me that SCAN is working on that next phase of the plan, because was my concern, is
And it's not even the next phase, it's the next, it is a separate plan, separate item,
well, I know there was an emergency
right?
and some progress was made on that. Much progress, I thought. But then there's a final solution in which the site is restored to its original condition. And is that what Stan is working on now?
Yes.
Am I free to ask, if there were any observations by DCR? Is that
There
something
were,
that can be shared?
Jessica,
Curious. Okay.
Can someone repeat the question?
I'm just curious if you can share any of DCR's observations.
Joan, do you mind just coming to the front? Did you hear her, Jessica?
Yeah, DCR's observations.
Thank you, Joan.
I probably should wait until we get formal comments from them as abutters. That would be my guess. Right? I don't really actually know.
Well, in regards to the notice of intent or in regards to the enforcement order?
The notice of intent.
What about the comments or
I don't think
regarding?
she really gave us enforcement comments though. Do you?
Besides hay was being used versus straw, which
Yeah.
I think that's such it's a detail thing. I understand why, but and if anyone's wondering, hay there has weed seeds in it and straw doesn't. But yeah, it's getting the silt removed and just preventing it from coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to that effect, really, she just mentioned getting the silt out by hand.
I can share the pictures now too. So hold on, I can do that right now.
Mine are uploading to OneDrive right now too.
Okay. In the meantime, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys seeing that?
We
Wish
can
it
see
could
your drive.
You're not seeing the picture that I just brought up?
No, I
Oh,
see your desktop box.
That's odd.
When you go to share your screen, if you don't click on the picture, it doesn't like select.
Really? Okay. Well, that's going to be annoying to do for everyone then.
You could redo it if you wanted.
But I have to go into each one individually.
Oh, okay.
So that wouldn't really be time effective.
There we go. I gotcha. All right. So there's, I'll go to the next one. Can you guys see this?
Yeah. Yes.
Is that from when you went?
This is 505. Yeah, this was last Friday.
Okay.
So that's on the downstream side of the rail trail. You can see the culvert here. No, that's the upstream side.
Yeah, that is.
Sorry.
Keep going. We're good.
That's upstream again. So we've pretty much lost the channel shape due to deposition. There it is again. There's up the field. There's the downstream wetland. Oh, seriously? Oh my gosh. How do I go to the top one? There. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's the berm.
And that's further up, further to the east.
But this is, I mean, this is the first time that I've really seen all this sediment in there.
Yeah, that's the one
So this was last Friday, so we had a lot of heavy rains, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think, of that week, last week.
Yep.
That's just hay bales, so you can see the hay bales were placed more laterally.
Yeah, but like we put another hay bale where the height indicator is, and the water's just going around it.
Yeah, I'm sure I have more pictures of that.
No, it's like, yeah,
But this, so yeah, this is the downstream side. But yeah, I mean, this used to be like a little like 2 foot wide channel. That sort of went around here to the stake, and now it, you know, it's just a mess.
yeah. And back when that culvert was put in, that was a whole basin.
Mhm.
It was dug out and so forth, so. But the field has revegetated. You could see, you know, where the water is running and where the check dams are, but the vegetation has grown right up to where the water is. Last week, I think it was Tuesday, when I went, it was pouring out, and I stopped at the dentist office. I didn't get out, but I looked into the field, and there was water coming out from the pipe under 119. So that source of water too. And when I drove by the field today, it looks like that wetlands looks bigger than it used to be.
Okay. A lot of seepage, probably.
Well, yeah, and I know that's kind of a separate topic, but
So it sounds like it's sort of a status quo until a new plan and a lot of digging.
yes. I don't know. I don't have anything else to really add at this moment. Jessica,
Yeah.
sediment as he goes. I was disappointed that he didn't put the new hay bales out prior to the heavy rains last week or weekend, or make sure the culvert was empty. But
Because that culvert went from full to empty, back to half full. It's just going up and down. Well, I guess it's what we have to live with for the time being and keep our fingers crossed.
right, well, and again, Jessica's monitoring it. I'm monitoring it.
Yeah, thank you guys.
You know, I'll try my hardest not to. But it happens.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. Jessica, do you have anything to add?
Nope. That's it. I mean, we just told them to monitor the sediment, keep the culvert clear. I think replace bales as needed. But yeah, not a whole lot to do until the NOI comes in and we see what they want to do. But I guess this is a decent plug for if and when that NOI gets filed, just remember that you guys are allowed to hire a third-party consultant to review if it's an exceptionally technical plan. You guys have that right to get a third-party consultant.
Pat, do you have anything?
No, not really. I go by and I always look too, just
Yeah,
to see what's happening.
me too, I think.
Phil, do you have
Thanks, guys.
anything you want to add?
No, nothing more. Thank you.
I know it's a
very much.
frustrating,
That's not frustrating because I see progress and I see her trying to do their best.
And we saw progress prior to the state coming to visit. And it seems like it's progress only made when, you know, there's threats made. So I don't. And then, you know, he ignored what I had asked him of him on the site. You know, it you know, so washed around those bales. And I think it would have been fully preventable. The whole thing could have been, but.
Yeah, you know that. All right, thank you guys.
Hi, Joan.
Hi, John.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Moving on. We'll have 2 RDAs. 3.1, request for determination of applicability, 12 South Street, TWB 2023-147. Proposed project is for a hydrogeologic study that will include mechanical and hand-driven installation of several piezometers and staff gauges. Part of this work will take place within 100 feet of a retention pond and within 200 feet of the Squanicook River.
The new well site?
Deluxe. Jessica.
We have Mike and Jason here as the applicant and their representative, so I'll probably hand the mic over to oh, sorry, bad pun. I will hand the microphone over to you guys.
Good evening.
Hi
Do you
there.
want me to, Jason, would it help if we did a screen share of the map of borings?
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
So Jason, if you could give a little, just brief description of the project, why it needs to be done, and, you know, any pertinent details.
Yeah. Thank you. Yep. So we are working under a Mass DEP approved IRA plan, an immediate response action plan. So we're doing a hydro study to evaluate, you know, groundwater flow conditions on the property, and if it's groundwater is discharging to the pond, or you know how the Squanicook River influences that, if it's a losing or gaining stream. That's kind of the goal of the project, is to kind of evaluate how groundwater moves in and around the property and into the pond. Yeah, and you know the red dots are, you know, terrestrial land-based piezometers, where we'll use a small geoprobe rig, you know, with percussion, pneumatic percussion, and drive probably 2 to 3 inch diameter steel casing, and then we'll set you know, the piezometer well material in the casing, retract it, backfill with clean well sand, and then fill it to grade and kind of have a flush road box. We will survey those with, you know, land surveying equipment, a professional land surveyor, and do some measurements in the piezometers. And then when we determine, you know, a little more accurately which way groundwater is headed on the property, we'll put in nested piezometers in the pond. We'll hand drive those like with a kind of a fence post style driver. We'll be wearing waders in the pond, or we'll use like a small flat bottom boat if it's deeper. It was deep the other day when we were out there and met the commission. And we'll drive those in below the bottom of the pond, and we'll have transducer data loggers in those, and we'll record data over several weeks to months, and we'll download that data, and we'll use that in our hydro study and provide that in a report to Mass DEP.
Matt, Jessica, feedback, input?
I know they submitted a request to waive the 35-foot buffer. So I just want to remind you that you'd have to vote on approving that as well.
Is that this or Highland? I know Highland did. Did you guys?
Oh, okay. Maybe this one didn't, I know they're working within the 35 foot, but maybe was that just for Highland?
But
I
yeah, that
know-
was just all by hand.
Okay.
Yeah, I asked Highland to do one. I don't think this needed one. It's
Okay,
just
I
like the
apologize then.
Okay. No, you're good. No, I mean, I think it's cut and dry. It's, understand it's minimal disturbance, so, I'm okay with -3 without any special conditions.
Does anyone have anything they'd like to add or discuss?
Yeah, I think they're going about it the right way.
All right, well, if no one has anything to add or discuss or, we can
Make a motion.
make a motion.
I make a motion, for the determination of applicability, 12 South Street, TWB 2023-147.
And I think it was -6.
Yeah, but I thought you said -3.
-3?
With a -3 determination.
I'm just looking. Sounds right. Sure.
Yeah, -3.
Okay, we need a second.
Second,
Roll call vote, please.
Pat Gemmalia,
James Gates, yes?
And LaCroy, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
And we have the stuff to sign
Oh,
with
good.
us tonight, so.
So, yeah, as long as we get all your signatures, we can send it out. Matt, I'm talking on your behalf. Matt can send it out on Friday via certified mail, so it'll get, is it going to Minneapolis?
You can send it, I don't recall what the address is. You can send it to Jason or to me, either way.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay, yeah, the one that's listed on the application, it's right there in front of you, James. It's something in Minneapolis.
Yes,
Oh.
and let me-
The applicant Deluxe in Minneapolis, is that, yeah, and that's fine.
Okay, we'll send an electronic copy to you guys too, so,
Yeah, that's the main thing.
all right.
Well, the applicant, yeah, is Minneapolis, but the representative is Jason. And
yes,
that's in Acton, so I don't have to send it to both.
Bless you.
So,
All right.
Thank you very much.
thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jason.
Jessica, Matt, Commission, appreciate your time. Thank you all very much. Take care.
Thank you guys for coming. Have a nice night.
Allergies, huh?
Not until just a couple minutes ago.
That's what I had. Allergies.
They have to do that. Those, that work at Deluxe. Because of the bond.
Because,
They found in the pond, and they're trying to figure out which direction the groundwater's coming. I didn't want to put them on the spot.
you know,
Right, 3.2, what?
sign those.
Yeah, at the end of the meeting.
Yeah, it's just easier.
Oh, yeah, okay.
3.2, request for determination of applicability, 114 Highland Street, TWB 2023-148. The proposed project is for the installation of a grid-tied ground mount solar array. This work will take place within 100 feet of an intermittent stream.
114.
This is
14 Highland, yeah.
114 Highland, it's sits way back off the road.
Okay.
It's a big barn. Real close to the house.
So we have Clark from the solar company Revision Energy here representing the applicant, and I have the map up on my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone. I can
Hello.
do a high-level summary, or if there's any questions.
Do a quick summary, high level.
So it's a 32 panel ground mount system. It's the mounting system being used is earth screws. It's helical piles that are, coined as ground screws. And then from the racking, at the ground mount, we'll be digging a trench about 170-foot trench from that ground mount back to the home to tie into the home's electrical service. I will be digging 2 feet down to hit the required depth for our conduit. We'll cover that conduit with sand and caution tape, get that inspected by the electrical inspector. Backfill, should be able to use existing fill from the dig, and then we'll seed and loam that excavation. That is within the 30-foot, 35-foot buffer.
Okay, Jessica,
Yeah, I mean, I think this is minimal disturbance, especially the panel. And then the trench is temporary and will be filled and reseeded as well. I would note as a condition, if you guys want to approve, just to probably put some sort of erosion or sedimentation barrier on the western side of all this, and then sort of wrap it around the northern edge of the panels during all ground disturbing activities until everything is growing with grass again. This is stabilized. And then Clark, did I see the vegetation that's removed is being shipped somewhere, or something was being removed?
Yes, just within the footprint of that ground mount, they'll have to remove some of the stumps and larger rocks for the machine. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, no, but I think in the application I read, like any waste material was going to be brought to like E.L. Harvey's facility or something like that. But I guess anyway, ultimately just whatever debris that you guys remove, vegetation or rocks or stumps, where will that go? Do you know?
so it says any waste material to be returned to Revision Energy's location and then in Andover. And then any vegetation removal is to be performed by homeowner prior to solar installation.
Okay. So I would just have somewhere to put that debris, organic debris in the rocks. And again, I know that's not on you guys, but I mean, it's on the homeowner. So just relay that back to them.
Yeah, can do.
Can't line the rocks that they're gonna come out of there, the larger rocks off to the right hand side,
Yeah.
so be out of the buffer zone.
Jessica, did you get that?
I mean, it's up to you guys. I think if you can just sort of roll them over toward the hill slope on the eastern side of the panels, like that TOA slope there.
Hillside, or, yeah.
Because that's pretty cost prohibitive to start loading large boulders, so some of those up there, there's some probably good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And trucking them to a crushing facility or a waste site. I can see with the stumps and any of the organic debris. But the rocks, I don't know why you couldn't line them up on the side if the homeowner's not opposed to it.
Yeah.
There's a cost saving measure for the homeowner. You've done a lot easier with the equipment they're probably gonna have in there.
Yeah, so I would say besides the erosion control, stumps just removed off the property and disposed of legally. However that may be.
I can certainly relay that piece to the homeowner. And then for the, are we thinking like a silt fence, or is more like this? I don't know if it's the correct term, but like the silt sock. Is that
Waddle, you mean?
Silt sock, I don't think you need to get that crazy. Waddle would be easier for you
waddles.
guys.
Okay.
Very
Great.
easy.
Yeah.
Just take it
You know-
in.
Clark, do you know how long it would take to dig that, like the trench and the conduit? How many days of work, do you know?
We can usually, depending on the electrical inspector's schedule, we can usually get it done in a day as long as his schedule's flexible.
Okay. 'Cause I'm just thinking if there's like a 2-foot trench with spoils piled all along the side and there's heavy rain that night, that stream's like 10 feet away. So,
The
Oh, that's
spoil
right,
should be on the
waddles,
uphill.
that's right, put waddles up there.
Yeah, and the spoil really should be on the uphill side.
They'd probably be on the uphill side of the trench anyway, so that'd be even further away.
so yeah, I mean, so commissioners, that's up to you guys. What I think, yeah, straw wattles is fine. Maybe designate some area a little further away than like the 12 feet from the stream to put those spoils, especially if that trench is open overnight. But you know, that sort of is a project dependent, the schedule and the electrical inspector thing. So,
Pile spoils on the uphill side of the trench. Right, did I say that right, Kevin?
Yeah, because if you pile the spoils on the uphill side of the trench, it does rain that night, any silt's gonna go in the trench anyway.
Yeah.
And not get anything in and, you know, be retained away from the levels.
But and it's not even that much of a, all the points are valid, but it's not that much of a slope.
No,
okay.
I think that would be fine. You know, in a matter of a couple days, they'll be done, you know?
All right, so, we need to vote on the waiving the 35-foot first, correct?
I would, yeah.
So we need a motion and a second to waive the 35-foot, bylaw for this.
Motion to waive the 35-foot bylaw for 114 Highland Street,
35-foot buffer
35-foot buffer
to the bylaw.
to the bylaw, TWB 2023-148.
Second now.
Roll call vote, please.
Pat Jamal, yes.
James Gates, yes.
And LaQuarrie, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Okay, and then we need to, and I'll just read this from my script from the boss.
Good.
Approve this, with the recommended -3 determination with special conditions to include silt fence or straw wattle along western work limits before any work or vegetation clearing starts. And please send pictures to Jessica and or Matt, preferably both. Can be removed after the area is vegetated. Vegetation removed needs to be placed outside the 100-foot buffer. If left open, I'm going to skip one thing. All spoils to be piled
On the upland side of the trench.
upland side of the trench, receding over the loam and seed over the disturbed areas for best management practices. No fertilizer to be applied because of the proximity of the stream.
So noted.
Need a second, please.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Pat Jamal, yes.
James Gates, yes.
And LaQuarrie, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Clark, thank you for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks for your time. Take care.
Thank you.
And we have this in our folder, right, Jessica? So we can,
Yeah, you guys have it. I'll need to make a attachment A for those special conditions. But yeah, we can get that out Friday. And then Clark, do you want the hard copy? We have to send a hard copy out.
Yeah, I think that'd be
Okay.
great. Yeah.
All right, so we'll send it to you guys and then we'll email an electronic copy of everything to the homeowners and to the 3 of you as well on Friday.
Perfect. Excellent. Thanks again.
Thank you. So 3.3, we're just gonna have to move to the next meeting, correct? Okay, that's administrative approval addition to the fee schedule. Four correspondence. National Squanicook and Nissitissit Rivers Wild and Scenic Stewardship Council is announcing the second year of their land protection grants program to support projects that protect and or enhance the rivers. Applications are being accepted through May 31st, 2023. Attached are an RFP and application form. Pass this along. Townsend Conservation Land Trust won $10,000 grant for the program in 2022 to complete surveys of properties. This year, the limit has been raised to 20,000. Jessica, maybe we should apply for this, or Matt, maybe we should apply for this, so you can have your boundaries marked.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Instead of you guys trying to do it with all that extra time you have.
True. Yeah, I can look into that.
So, yeah, you probably have to get right on it and find someone to give you a quote and see how much it costs per acre or whatever. So they have all these conservation properties in this boundary, so really not.
That's a good idea.
Okay. Four point two, Mass DEP issuing of the 401 water quality certification for the USACE's general permit. Matt, can you just discuss this quickly?
Yeah, we already discussed this last meeting. This was just the update that it got passed, and there's an appeal period that ends on May 12th. It's just updating the water quality certification because it ran out. The 2018 version ran out this month or soon. So they were just updating it with a new one. It pretty much just enforces, if they suspect anyone of polluting into, U.S. waters, that they need to file a permit with the state. So the state would be in charge of enforcing that.
Right. 4.3, Mass DEP issuing, nope, sorry, I already did that. Biomap, bringing conservation to communities, May 17th from 4 to 5 p.m. on Zoom. NRWA and the Wild Scenic Stewardship Council would like to invite you to resume presentation biomap for conservation in communities. It's a new tool. Help protect critical water and land resources, wildlife habitat, and create more resilient communities. Matt, can you just give us a brief synopsis?
You pretty much summed it up right there too. We also talked about Biomap at a previous meeting where they just made updates to it recently. And this is just a training if you want to learn how to use it better and use it and see how it's used for all the things you mentioned. It's a pretty cool tool. So if you have the free time to attend that training, I would recommend it.
Thank you, Matt.
How do we get to the Zoom login?
Is it on the OneDrive?
It's
Yeah.
on the OneDrive, yep. But I can also, if you have specific interest in it, just let me know and I can send you a direct link via email.
You
Okay.
have to sign up prior.
Yes, I believe so. Let's see, does it say in the file that I printed out there?
I don't know, I put it.
Yeah, you should have to register for a Zoom link. That's all. So yeah, you do have to register, but I don't think there's any timeline or deadline to register as long as you do it before the meeting.
Right, education and conferences, MACC always has stuff. There's something next Wednesday, right, Matt? How you doing?
For MACC, we attended a lunch and learn today. I don't know if that's what you're thinking of. That was on chapter 30B, right, Jessica? And then, I mean, next Wednesday is the biomap training as well. That's May 17th. So,
Okay. Items for discussion at the next meeting. Notice of intent for 158 Fitchburg. Proposed amendments to the water regulations of chapter 150 and ongoing enforcement order for 158 Main Street. Are there any other NOIs or RDAs that will be in front of us that we know about?
I don't think so.
Did Courtney say Stan might have something for us by then?
She just said a few weeks. So I can check with Stan. Maybe I can email him because our June meeting, because May has 5 Wednesdays, so there will be a 3-week gap between our next meeting on the 24th and then our first June meeting on June 14th. So if he can get us stuff by the end of the month, we should be able to have it on the first June meeting, but I'll push him to try to get that.
Approaching hay season, so next meeting is Wednesday, May 24th, 2023, 7 p.m. Board of Select Chambers, 2nd floor. This meeting will also be held via virtual Zoom remote in accordance with COVID-19 safe meeting guidelines. It's 8:43. Need a motion to.
Do you want to adjourn now or do you want to send the purpose first?
We've always done it after.
Okay. Make a motion for adjournment?
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Pat Generally, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Dan LaCroy, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
We're gonna sign paper for myself.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
thank you guys. Have a nice night, everyone.